Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today we got a tool review for another 3-plane green laser. This one's brought to you by Lasgoo. It's the LG-3D. And maybe I've been burning you out on 3-plane lasers. I've got several in the mail that people have asked me to review, and I've chosen them for specific reasons, and this one's no different, because I've actually turned down a few other ones that they've sent me. The Sigma was the first one that I got because I just wanted to get one of these other brands and try it and see how it went, and the price is really good on that. I've also got a review for the Dovo. It's more expensive because that's more of a professional grade in comparison as what they say. It's supposed to be brighter. It's supposed to be the brightest laser, so I wanted to get that and try that out. Now the Bosch I have bought myself. I've had that for years. I bought it when it first came out. I probably bought it in 2017, something like that. One of the best lasers I've ever used. I use it all the time. Works great, but those come at a significant price. You're going to spend $400 to $600 when you get into buying something like that. And then this one, I decided to get this one because it's the cheapest one that's on Amazon that I've been asked to review so far. So I can't tell you enough how much, again, a 3-plane laser, whether it's green or red, is significant in helping you get so many jobs done. Like once you have one, you'll realize how much you can use it. And green on top of that, if you don't have a green laser, for me personally, I feel like it's well worth getting a green laser over a red one. If you haven't tried a green one yet, I suggest that you do so. But again, this one's going to be the cheapest, and I decided to get this one because maybe I haven't hit your price point yet for you to pull the trigger to get you one to realize how much it's going to make every job you do better. Maybe this is going to be the one, so hopefully if that's the case, I'm hitting your price point and it's going to cause you to get yourself one. So this one is going to run around $140 on Amazon, but they always have a coupon of some kind, and it's typically $30. So you're looking at $110 for a green 3-plane laser. I mean, that is crazy cheap in comparison. I think about how much lasers cost back when they first came out. You had your rotary lasers to put in drop ceilings that you'd spend $2,000 on and all those things. It's like how much this has changed over time that I can get a green 3-plane laser for $110, whereas the Sigma cost around $170, and then they usually have a $30 coupon, so that gets you down to $140. Now I've seen it on sale a couple of different times for around $125, but that's still more than the $110 that you're going to spend on this. So then once you get out of these two, I'm going to kind of compare this one more so to that Sigma than the other because the price range on those go up. So I think if you were between these two, I've got a review for this Sigma if you want to check that out. But features wise, I'm going to kind of be thinking about, is it worth going up an extra $30 or so to get a Sigma versus this Lasgoo? But let's go over what you get in the box with this. I'll show it to you in action as far as what it does, and then you can make the decision for yourself. So inside that box, you get this case. It's one of those kind of soft but hard cases. It's very much similar to the Sigma one. It's kind of like a sunglass type cases, in my opinion, if I had to explain what it is. It's a very nice case. It has this foam at the top to protect anything, keep it from moving up and down, and then it's got a harder foam here that has individual cutouts for everything that you get. The only thing that I don't have in here that comes is you get a cable right here, a USB-C cable to charge your batteries. I've got that plugged up over here right now to show you how to charge these batteries. But inside it, you're going to get your user manual. It comes with all the instructions on how to operate it, all those things. You get the laser itself. Again, it's very nice. It's got a good feel to it. You get a green target card. It's exactly the same green target card, identical, so they must get it at the same place as the one that comes with your Sigma laser. So they're identical in that way. Personally, I don't care for any of these. I mean, it's better than nothing. But if I was to buy a green 3-plane laser, I'm going to suggest, I've got a video for these Milwaukee target cards. They're the only target cards I've ever used that I have found to be really useful in some way whatsoever. You get 2 batteries. So this laser in particular has external batteries that you put in place. The Sigma has an internal battery that you just charge with USB-C. Now, one benefit to the Sigma is I can plug it up with that USB-C charger and use it while it's charging. And so basically it's kind of like you can plug it up and use it as a corded laser. Now, I don't know about that one, whereas the Dovo, I could take the batteries out, plug it up, and it would still work. I don't know if the Sigmund would still work if something malfunctioned within that battery or not, so I couldn't tell you that. I wouldn't know that unless something tore up on it. But this one has external batteries. You get 2 of them. They're supposed to have 10 hours of working time according to them, so you could get 20 hours worth of laser, but it's nice that they did give you 2. And I do like the fact that if they give you batteries, you charge them externally as well without having to use the laser, because some of the things that I've seen, whether it's a laser or another tool, sometimes they come with batteries, but you actually have to plug it up, and they use the tool as the charger itself. So the only way you can really charge something is to have that battery in there. Well, then that lets you not charge your other battery. So these charge. It took me a while to figure out because I couldn't figure out. They didn't give me a charging block, and there wasn't a charger port on the laser, but there's actually a USB-C connector on each of the batteries right there. You just plug them up, and then they scroll like this until they get full, all 4 bars, and then you know that you're good to go. So it's nice. Again, they give you 2. You can externally charge them, swap them in and out. And again, you're supposed to be able to get 10 hours out of each one. So you get 2 batteries, the target card, and then you also get a mount. And this mount, again, as I said in the other videos, the mount is somewhat different on every single laser, and sometimes you might pay more for a laser, but it's the accessories that make it worth it. This mount seems to be fairly decent. It's not bad. I mean, it's not the best one in the world, but to me this one is definitely better than the wall mount that the Sigmund gives you. You can see a big substantial difference in size. They both do have the magnetic part on the back, so you can take this, stick it on anything magnetic, and then it's strong enough magnets that I can even open and close this drawer without it disconnecting. Again, that comes in handy for me. The magnet part does, more so than this where you put the screw, because a lot of times I've got scaffolding set up. I can stick this on that, or just whatever. You can always find something, typically metal, that you can hook that onto. These do come out because I don't really like it, because it doesn't seem like they should. But then I got to thinking about it. Maybe I need to stick this up against the edge of a wall, and it makes it to where I can take these in and out, because they both do the same thing. I was really curious why they even put 2 on there, because most mounts you find that have this, they typically only have a knob on one side. So you could take one of them out altogether if you wanted to, but this gives you that flat surface. You could set this on the ground with your laser on it, and then move it up to something metal if you need to later, hang it on the wall, all those things, and it gives you a little bit of a micro adjustment on your vertical. So I think that this one's pretty decent. Again, my Bosch has kind of spoiled me. I feel like it's the best mount that I've ever used, and I think it's far above any of the other ones that I've had. So it's kind of spoiled me, but I do feel like this is a little bit better than, for sure, the wall mount on the Sigmund, although the Sigmund does give you this one that fits on the ground that you can use and give your micro adjusting a 360 degrees. It just depends on what all you want on that. So that's what you get in the box. Let me go ahead and go over some of the features of this, and then I'll show it to you in use. Feature wise, just to load the battery up, it's pretty simple. You open up that, throw in your battery. It's got an arrow pointing that direction to let you know which side goes in first, but basically if you look for your connector points, you know that's what's going to go in. Slide it up in there. That's simple. It's got the same modes as any other laser that you're going to use. This one's more so works just like my Bosch, just like the Sigmund. You can basically click it this first. If you only go halfway, that's that manual mode, to where that laser will not auto adjust. So again, you can get that diagonal if you're working on a slope or something like that and you need it to stay in that point, versus if I go ahead and open this, turn this and open it the whole way, it goes into self-leveling mode. If it's blinking, that means it's not level. That pendulum has not been able to set itself, but I can set it there. It self-levels itself, so you don't have to level your level in order to figure out anything. And again, if I turn it this way, it's basically not going to want to stay in that position. It's going to always want to level itself, so it's going to blink and let you. It has to be at a certain grade, because it's basically a pendulum in there, and it has to be able to level itself, with this being somewhat level, but it doesn't have to be 100% level. So you get the same modes as well. If I hit this mode button here, I can swap between the lasers. So right here was that vertical line that way that went off. Then I just turned the horizontal off. And then now I've got just the horizontal, and it just cycles through. Now I got this vertical that's going like this. Now I've got all three. So again, same process as any other 3-plane laser that you have. It just gives you the option to be able to turn on one laser if that's all you need, up to 3. And then all that does really is save you battery life or keep it from hitting your eyeballs. If you need to be in a certain position and I only needed this line, there's no sense in having the other 2 on. And then other than that, you also have pulse mode here that I can turn on. So with this laser not in pulse mode, they say you have a 100-foot working range. That's exactly the same as the Sigma, and then it's got an 1/8 inch accuracy at around 30 feet, which is very similar. I think it was a 1/9 inch at 33 feet on the Sigma. So those both work out, but they both also have this pulse mode where I can turn that on by pressing that button. You can see the green light just came on there. Then I can use a line receiver like this one. I can turn that on, and then as I get that into that space, that will click and tell me that I'm now at whatever that measurement is. So you can use that to set grade on things, to figure out where posts need to be set, to figure out all sorts of things, but that helps you in places where you possibly can't see the laser, because this now gives you a 328-foot range, they say, using a detector like this. So it does have the option again to give you pulse mode, which is significant to me in a cheap laser at this value, because again, I know the DeWalt 20-volt laser that's a 3-plane that my buddy has, it doesn't even have pulse mode on it, and he paid near the same amount of money that I paid for my Bosch. Sigma has the pulse mode on it as well, so that's another option where it has it. But again, for you to get a 3-plane laser that's green, that has pulse mode, it's IP54 rated. You can get up to 100-foot working range, up to 300-foot worth of range with a line detector, all for right around that $100 to $110. I mean, if you don't have one yet, I can't suggest to you enough that you need to get yourself a 3-plane laser, and a green one. You might as well get one, because that's kind of the standard now. But let me go ahead and show this to you in a room that's kind of a little bit darker, and to where I can show you more about it and show you the one thing that kind of I've noticed over time using lasers other than my Bosch that I didn't really pay attention to. Alright guys, just to show you the Lasgoo as far as what it will do, you can see I've got it set up here in this room. It's kind of a little bit dark in here. I did that on purpose so you can see it a little bit better. But with a 3-plane laser, you get the horizontal, 360 degrees around an entire room. It even comes up from back behind me, the same thing on the top. It goes on the floor, up across the ceiling, 360 degrees this way, and then also 360 degrees in that direction as well. Not only do you get that, but you get a plumb bob, because anywhere where you have this mark match, you'll also have an X on the floor. I won't have one here because of how I've got it set on this. It would be right in that area. You also get a point laser, so from this point to there, straight across from one another. Same thing here and back behind me. So again, 3-plane lasers are great. It gives you pretty much every function that you would need. You can see that the line is very visible, very nice. It's very comparable to everything else. One thing that I do want to show you all, and this is based on something that I've kind of noticed on looking at all these lasers, are that on these lasers you have little bars here that basically protect your glass. It's for the protection and just durability and all those things. As the laser shoots through those, you'll have spots missing on some of these. Like you can see here, you got a little area there, no laser showing. There's one there, also one there, up in here. That's something that I have noticed on this one. And then if you go back and let me turn the Sigma on so you can kind of compare, you can see the lines here. Sigma might be a little bit brighter. It's a little bit different color green. And again, the Sigma has the ability to change brightness settings to where you can kind of get closer to that same color. But you'll notice the Sigma also, same thing, missing there, and it's even in similar spots there there, up in here. It just depends on where you position it and how you've got it going. So that's something to take note of versus if I take my Bosch laser and I turn it on. Let me turn on all three lasers. You'll see I don't have near the, let me scoot it to where it's in a total different position than the rest of them. I've got a very small spot there, but there's still a laser there. Another spot here, but there's still a laser. It's just not as visible, but I can still see a green line. You can't really pick that up probably on the camera, but the best spot to kind of see it is here. I still have a line. It's just not near as, it's not solid like the rest of this is. As you can see, even if I move my finger over it, I can make the line appear because it's hitting it at a different place. So that's the difference between a Bosch and the Sigmund and the Lasgoo right there, all in one place. So that's something to take in consideration. It's not really a big deal most of the times that I've ever dealt with it. I did notice it as I was using the Sigmund on a job that I was using it before previously, that it was, I ran into a spot where it was, I didn't have that line, and then I had to get out and mark it in some different way. So that's just something to take in consideration, something I've noticed. I just wanted to share it with you guys. But here you can see all these lasers compared to one another right beside each other. They're all pretty similar. They're, you know, within up and down wise, you can tell that it's exactly in the same, you know, plane of one another, that they're all fairly accurate, all very good. Laser lines show up well. It's just a matter of what budget fits you best. That's the Lasgoo LG-3D 3-plane laser, around $110. I think that it's a pretty decent one for that price. I don't see where it's really much different than using any of my other lasers. Again, the big difference might come in the accessories that you get with another laser or the durability. I can't speak to that on this. I just received it. I've only used it a couple times so far. I haven't dropped it or anything. But $110 for a tool that will make the quality of your work and the ease of your work significantly easier. If you don't have one and this is within your price range and you don't want to spend, you know, $300 to $400 to go get you a Bosch Milwaukee Stabila, you know, whatever it is, I would suggest that you look into one of these other 3-plane lasers. But I think for the value of it, for the price of it, the modes that you get, and how much it can help you, I think that it's a good option. So let me know in the comments below if you've got one of these and had one for a longer period of time. If you've had some issues with it, make sure and comment that down below. Also, if you've had a great success with it, you feel like you got your best bang for your buck when you bought it, let us know that down below as well. Hope it was useful in some way. Hope it helps you make a decision if it might be the right tool for you. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.